Hey guys, this is Viper 6 and today we're going 2 up to Ghost Lake. My wife's sitting in the back. I lent her my mesh jacket because she's got leathers and it's like 27 degrees, I guess mid-80s or something like that, and that's about the only time she gets on the bike because or else she finds it too cold. So anyway, we decided to go to Ghost Lake. This morning was like Costco and then the hot tub place and doing all sorts of stuff. Lots of running around. I installed that K&N air intake on my truck, and when I opened her up to get on the highway, it sounded worse than an F-18 fighter jet. It was like, okay, this is cool. My wife even had this big grin on her face when she heard it. She says, man, that's loud. I said, yeah, it's loud, but loud is nice and fun. So, anyway. But I have a funny story for you. Last week we went to this, it's sort of like a tourist area, tourist attraction. It's called Head Smashed In Buffalo Jump. And I knew it was a historic site in Canada, but when I got there I found out that it's also a World Heritage Site, so that's kind of cool. And that's pretty much where the natives used to run the buffalo off of the cliff. That was their way of hunting them and to slaughter them and get all the meat they needed to survive the minus 40 degree winters here in Canada. So it was kind of cool. But the funny thing is, though, was getting there. Never been there, so you know it's like an hour and a half or something, almost 2 hours south of Calgary. And so I program it in the GPS, and we're on Highway 2 going south towards the U.S. border. And then as we approach the place, it says, okay, turn right on Range Road 232. So I'm thinking there's got to be a paved road, you know, as opposed to a range road. It's a, you know, man, it's a tourist site. So my wife says, well, it could be the back way in, so just turn here. So, okay, so I turn there, and we do about like 5-6 kilometers, which is about 3.5 miles on this gravel road, and then it turns into a grass field with 2 dirt tracks, but yet the GPS still says this is the road. And then about like 3-4 kilometers in past that, it turns into 1.5 foot deep mud bogs that like was like incredible. So yeah, I sort of baptized my truck by mud that day. It was it took a long time to clean, man. But the funny thing is, when I get there, there's a shuttle bus that takes you up the hill to the site, and the guy says, oh, you're one of those guys that followed your GPS, so that went around Mud Lake. I go, yeah, that would be me. Because the truck was like, it came over the hood, man, as this big freaking wave. It was like disgusting. It took me like an hour and a half of pressure washing, and then an hour to clean my driveway, then an hour to clean the street all the way to the sewer. It was like, okay, that was no fun. And yeah, I could have passed this guy. But the thing is, I'm 2 up, so I haven't ridden 2 up in like over a year and a half, so I would have passed if I was alone, but I don't know how much reserve power I have. Nope. There. That was better. Yeah, you definitely have a lot less power when you're 2 up. Because right now, between me and my wife, you're looking at about 360 pounds, 370 pounds. Yeah. So, and a strong headwind too. I like the mountains, man. Like there's not any snow left on this side, but these are just the beginning of the mountains. They're the short little guys, If you go deeper in, you get some guys that are like 20,000 feet, 18,000 feet, and they still have a ton of snow on them. Sorry. And the thing is, like, I've hiked some, and from the bottom of the mountain, it looks like you see this little speck of snow up there, right? So you start hiking up the mountain, and like 3-4 hours later, you're up to that speck of snow that's like the size of like 10 football fields. But from the ground, it looks like a speck of snow. It's pretty funny. This spot here, you always have to be careful. For some reason, the deer love to cross right here through that ravine and over the road. I guess it keeps them out of sight from the coyotes and the wolves. And there's also cougars around here. So yeah, this year, man, is like not a great year for riding. Last year, man, by this time, I had about 6,000 kilometers on the bike, which is about 4,000 miles. And this year, I think I topped up 1,002, which is like nothing. 1,200 kilometers. It's like, seriously, man? It's like yeah, not a lot. Yeah, riding towards here reminds me of my hunting spot, so which reminds me of the fact that I need to take out my rifle and go take a couple of shots to see if the scope is still good and set true. Because this year I'll be hunting whitetail again, and probably get my elk license just in case one happens to wander by, because there are some here. There's actually herds that come through, but I never. For some reason, I always miss the herd, so it's like whatever. I always meet the lazy stragglers, right? And this year I'm going to do something I haven't done in a long time, is actually buy a migratory bird hunting permit and see if I can go get a goose. Yes, a big fat Canada goose. I asked the guy who owns the land if he'll let me hunt the geese, and he said, yeah, but because over here there's a lot of geese that actually don't fly all the way south. They'll stay here all winter because there's tons of food. So he said, yeah, but don't shoot more than 2 because I'm trying to grow a herd. Okay, fine. I said, well, I didn't say fine at first. I said, well, no, then I won't shoot any. He says, no, just limit it to 2 and you're good. Like, that's the billionaire I was telling you about. He's kind of cool. So, yeah, so I'll see if I can get a goose, because I'll be using a pellet rifle, a .177. It's a competition one. It's got the same muzzle velocity as a 22 long-range rimfire. So it'll be sporty because I'll just be aiming for the head. So yeah, obviously they won't be flying. They'll have to be stationary. And not in the middle of a lake because I have no dog. So it'll have to be something close to shore or on land. So yeah, it maximizes their risk, their chance of survival with all those restrictions I've put on myself. Yeah, there's still a lot of land over here on the south side, which is on my left, that it's native land. On the right side, it's all private owned. Whitewater rafting. Wow. That's something I haven't done yet. My wife wants to try. And we thought about it this year, but this year it wasn't a good idea with all the flooding, man. It sort of chewed away the tons of land. So it would have been extreme whitewater rafting. So yeah, this week I got 2 cool things in the mail. I got my cold air intake for the truck, which I installed. And yeah, you know what? They say an hour and a half. It wasn't quite an hour and a half. It was more like two hours and a half and something, because there's a few things you need to actually relocate in the truck, so under the hood, to make this thing fit. But I'm glad I did it. It sounds awesome. Hopefully it'll save me a bit of fuel, because I notice you actually have to press your gas a little less when you're just coasting. The only drawback is you like to hear that sound, so you're going to trump it once in a while, and you're going to actually waste more fuel. So it is what it is. It's like putting louder pipes on your bike, right? If you got 50 miles to the gallon before, now you're going to get 45 because you got to wrap the throttle a little more, right? And the other cool thing was my order of pig snot. Yeah, recommended by SCRC401. I tried it on the right side of my tank, and I still have the stock wax, or my usual wax, on the left side of the tank, and just to see which one stays slipperier longer or smoother. But the pig snot from the get-go is a lot more, it's a lot smoother, I can tell you that. It's like very slick. And I also did a quarter section on the hood of my truck to see how it holds up to the elements, you know, and the washes and all that stuff. So I'll be able to give you guys a better review of the product then. But for those that want to, you know, go ahead and order some now, I can get you 20% off, because he sent me some business cards, which I don't really have to send you. But if you go to their website, www.pigsnot.com, you order the stuff, and then on the coupon code you enter number 10, and then you get like 20% off. So yeah, cool. They don't tell you these things before you order, they tell you these things after you order, you know. So, but if I can pass on 20% savings to you guys, why not, right? And they don't only sell wax, they sell a whole ton of stuff. Oh, let's see if I can make this light, because if not, we're going to sit there for a bit. Stay green, 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 green. Oh man, just changed. I better pick up it, because I don't want cars coming from the other side while I'm still over here. So I'll catch up to the boat. Yeah, this is Ghost Lake, and well, it looks like they cleaned up a lot of the dead wood that was around from the flooding. Oh man, you should have seen the amount of crap in the water. One guy, man, he was all like, he was kind of proud, but don't understand why. He says, "Oh man, look at my boat, I just pulled it out and I got no propeller left." I go, "Yeah, there goes $500. Says, "Yeah, pretty much." Says, "And if it was stainless steel, it'd be a lot more." So yeah, you're proud that you chewed up a propeller on the first boat ride of the season. Yay. Yeah, this place I don't like because they haven't graded it yet, so there's some pretty substantial potholes. And going two up, you never know what the guy or the girl, my wife, not the guy, is going to do behind. Hopefully she behaves nicely. Let's go around. Yeah, she's pretty good though, you know. Sometimes she'll lean a little too much and I don't want it, but it's pretty good. And we'll just park right here. Cool. This is a Viper 6. Waiting for the wife to get off. Okay, let me put it in neutral. I don't know if this is such a good idea because I'm really close to this truck, but they're not going anywhere and I'm not going to be sticking around long, so. And there you go. And that's my wife. Wave. There you go. Viper 6. Over and out.